All right, so here's another episode of Your Yes is Needed. We're going to continue the series of the Why Not Tour. And my second guest of the Why Not series is Jaleesa. I'm probably going to say it wrong because I've only met her a couple of times. True story. We've actually met through Instagram. So when all the folks say that, social media is bad, I always say who you follow is bad because it's a button. It's just a button. You can unfollow, mute, you can do whatever you want. So when people say that TV is bad, it's just a button. You can turn it off. So at one point this is my second Instagram page, and when I revamped the second one, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do this to myself. So I only listen and follow things that benefit me. So and it doesn't matter if we have things in common. If you're pure with what you're doing, I'm in, because your intention behind of whatever your gift is, whatever it is, you're going to do it with your whole heart and passion. So like there used to be this guy that I used to follow that did nails. Obviously, I don't get my nails done, but I loved his passion. And so I was so intrigued by his passion that I started following him. So we met through social media. She started following me. And I kind of like, the next question I want to ask is like, where were you at mentally and physically when you first started following me and my team's page? And then because like halfway through, I would say you following us, that's when you got into strength training and powerlifting, and you just recently did your first competition 2 weeks ago. So yeah, start with that. Where did your why not start?
Okay, so I have been going to the gym consistently, like just, I don't know, I want to say it started before pandemic, like maybe like 5 months before everything shut down. And I had just started going to the gym, honestly, because I was super lonely and I didn't like know how to meet people. And so I was like, just go to the gym and be around people, and you need to be healthier anyway. So, but then when COVID shut everything down, I was so depressed because even though it was just like running until I couldn't feel my feet a few times a week, I felt like that was the only time I had really developed discipline in my life. And so I got super depressed, and I just stopped like doing anything physical for, I want to say like a solid year, because there was always a reason. It was like, gym opened back up, but it was summertime. So I'm just going to paddleboard and be good. And then the fall and winter came. It's like, oh, it's busy season at work. It's holiday time. Like I focused on that. But then like that January, I decided to like have a morning routine and have like a solid like God time, gym time. And then, but still I was just like going to the gym. I didn't really know what I was doing. And then it wasn't until the fall of 2021 that I found you guys, because we have mutual friends.
Okay. And everyone knows each other in Boston.
Yeah. And a mutual friend had posted like a transformation photo from you, like a before of you. And she was talking about how proud she was. And then I read your story and I was like, it was honestly just super inspiring, because like,
what was it part of the story that you were able to relate to?
The fact that you tried to get help, but there were no real helpful alternatives for you besides like big pharma, basically, and besides status quo. And the fact that you knew that there was more than what was being offered. It was almost, you had this idea in your head of like what you were supposed to be like or what it could be like, and you were like going to go for that. And
that's exactly what it was.
Then you set out on a journey to make sure that like, I mean, totally correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like, then you set out on this journey, you call it your intentions, but for me, it's like you begin to align the outside world to like your core values. And
no, right, because your intentions has to be pure in order to be aligned. So
right.
a lot of people do things looking for alignment for all the wrong reasons, like approval. They need to be validated. They need to point. And so where I was at, like, to me, what I've learned is that if you don't have good intentions, you don't have the hookup.
Right. And for me, what I learned is if you do things according to how you know in your spirit, how you know in your gut it's supposed to be, that's when the validation comes. That's when the like, and it's an inner validation, you know, you don't worry about the outside world anymore because it's like, oh, no, this is legit. This is, I am 100. And so that spoke so much to me. And the fact that you were all natural too, you know, like, this is what I'm doing. And you went for it and you did it. And just like all the crazy miraculous hookups, like that doesn't just happen. It's like,
you read my book. Can you tell them what you're talking about? You read
I got your book right here.
So what miraculous hookups that you were like, there's no way.
Yeah, it was when you went to go get the equipment.
Yeah.
And it was like, first of all, your stuff fell through. So then you had to get your homie brought a U-Haul. And you're
yes.
Like, a U-Haul?
Like a U-Haul. So yeah, so what happened was I just needed to pick up 500 pounds of weights. And I asked my friend who owned like one of those work vans if I could borrow his fans because it was a 500 pounds worth of just plates. And then like one like thing that wouldn't have fit in my SUV. So that's the only reason why I asked for his SUV. And if I couldn't fit like this tower thing in I was like, all right, that's fine. I would have been okay with leaving it there. But then that morning he goes, I got you a U-Haul truck. I was like, I was actually embarrassed. I was like, bro, like, I'm just picking up plates, man. Like, it's just plates. And he goes, no, it's fine. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like,
no, it's not. This is weird.
I'm bringing this big ass U-Haul truck to this man's house to bring plates. Like, that's embarrassing. And just for him to be like, oh, I'm so glad that you brought a U-Haul truck. Can you take my entire gym? I was like, oh, okay. So I guess I did need this U-Haul truck. So yeah.
Yeah. And I love too, because you call it a trap, but it's like just God's favor, you know?
Yeah, it's a God's trap. And my next book is going to be called The Trap.
I'm excited for it. But yeah, and then so I just started like following you, and then, you know, obviously Team Limitless came up, and it's like, oh, okay, what's up, Team Limitless? So then I start seeing everything you're posting, and I'm like, yo, these women look like me though, and they're moving 300 pounds, like, and it just put this thing in me. It's like, if Island's doing it, if Mo's doing it, like, why? Because to me, like, I feel like they represent like my body type the most, you know what I mean? Or like I identify with them physically the most. And so it's like, if they're doing it and they are like regular, like they're not, you know, all built up and jacked or whatever, like,
or years of experience,
right? And I'm like, I don't understand why I can't do this. And then it like sparked something in me to be more intentional about my workouts, because it was like, I mean, this cardio thing is cool. And I did know about progressive overload and was like trying to figure it out, but there's a lot of resources. And so it can get really confusing when you don't have like a mentor or trainer or whatever. So in January, I was like, I'm getting a trainer. Like, these people are doing competitions. I want to do a competition. Like, that would just be so dope. Why I do a competition? And then I got a trainer, and then like he showed me some things, taught me some things, but it didn't really work out. And that was really kind of hard to deal with. So I hired him in January, and then in March he like kind of ghosted me, and was like, because he was busy with his other clients or whatever. And
that was discouraging, because you'll question yourself like, well, maybe I'm just overthinking about this competition. Maybe I can't do it, because when the attention is not on you, the assumption is that maybe you're not good enough.
Right.
And so you have to,
or like if my trainer doesn't even believe in me, like, am I really just, is this
right.
a idea? Like I'm known for some shenanigans, you know? So, but then I was like, no, like, and then I really had to dig and I was like, why are you even doing this? Like, what is this standard?
Was that the time that you reached out to me and was like, you hurt your knee?
Yeah.
And I was like, just read this book.
Yeah. And then you were like, you got to know your intention. And I was like, what do you mean intention, bro? Like, I just want to lift heavy stuff. Like,
I want to be great already. What are you making me do? Study my emotions for my intention.
Yo, I was like,
while you were sitting in the ER, like, no.
Yeah, I was literally in the ER. Like, have you ever dealt with a setback? I never met you before. Like, I just was like, somebody tell me how to deal with not being able to do something.
Yeah. Yeah, this is true, folks. Yeah, the first conversation I ever had, she was at the ER crying, like, yeah. All right, so let's back up some. What are your intentions for wanting to lift up? But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to lift heavy right now.
Yeah, it's like, just help me get rid of this back pain. Like, come on, bro. Like,
and believe it or not, folks, once she studied her intentions and realized what she really wanted, do you still have back pain?
No, not even like a little bit. So dumb. So not that it's so dumb, it's just so
it sounds foolish. It sounds foolish. That's why a lot of people live in the glory days, because when they hurt themselves, they have nothing left to talk about what they used to do. But when you do things with the right motive, like I'm telling you, like there's a different world out there of doing things with pure intentions. Like everything just aligns with you. Your body makes sense. Your mind makes sense. Like everything just makes sense. Yeah. And especially when you're so used to doing things that gets you in dead ends, and you end up in positions and situations that you're just questioning, like, did I do it right? But when you're in this different motive, when you do things with a pure heart, like you never question yourself. You're like, you always like, hey, I'm just want to making sure that my motive is good. Is my intention good? I'm in.
Yeah.
So,
and the thing is, I just want to say about that really quick though, is that it doesn't necessarily have to be like this glorious intention. Like I didn't have this intention in the beginning of like, I want to be a great example to thick women and like be a role model for people. Like that's not, like, it just felt good to lift heavy shit, because like a lot in my life, like I felt powerless, and it was like, oh no.
Okay, so watch this. So why did you want to lift heavy right away?
Oh, because of feeling powerless in my past.
Bingo.
Yeah, 1,000%.
So no one really understands why they do things in the beginning. You just, it's like an onion. You just have to slowly peel, and then suddenly you'll find out like, oh, I know why I'm doing this. And then it just this open door. But when you had the mentality of, I need to make up for my past, you hurt yourself
so bad.
And I think that's important to share, because most people find that embarrassing to share, because they're like, I can't believe I even entertained that. I can't, but you're not the only one. And
we do so many things to like prove that we are not that person anymore, or we're over it, or we're healed. Like, you know, with so much of our lives is like wrapped up improving ourselves. And once like that part of the onion was shed, like I just found so much more like joy and freedom in it.
Bingo.
And less ego. Like
after you found your motive. All right, so rewind, folks, again. Like it is so, but it's the reason why I wake up every morning, and like I really do. So originally the reason why I started working out in the mornings was because it was the only time I was able to work out without feeling anxious at night when I was training and coaching my team. And so by the time I would finish, it would be almost midnight, 1 o'clock. And then I would get up early. So when I switched it, when I started waking up at 3:30 to do my workouts, my trainings for all my bodybuilding shows, I realized it was actually a trap. It was to seek God every single morning and find my intentions, because nothing is more pure when you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is seek God. I don't touch my phone. I just put my inspirational gospel music on, and I'm there by myself, and I'm like, wait a minute, was this a trap? Was this all along a trap? And it took me a year to figure that out. And so because I'm not like in training no more for bodybuilding, but I still wake up in the morning to seek God, because that's what it was all about in the beginning.
Yeah, totally.
And I realized every single morning it was to see that my heart and my intentions and my motives are still pure and on the right track every single day. And that's why I receive guidance and direction on how to help my team, or what they need, or what they're looking for, so they can continue to become limitless. So that's how it all started, a trap. And so when you called me and reached out to me, I was like, I know you're not gonna like this, but why are you doing this? Because if you don't know what you want, if you don't know what you're looking for, no one else can help you.
Yeah. And that's in any area of life, like
correct.
Weight management or lifting or whatever.
Yeah, but so what I've taught my team is you take what you learned from training and you apply it to your personal life. So now I'm pretty sure that like you're probably the things that you're never paid attention to before is the little things that you're probably paying attention to now is probably more sharpened. Time management, because now your timing for training and workout is included within your 24 hours.
Right.
Like, you become a sharper person.
1000%. Yeah. And especially something that I've gained is patience. And
did you have some before?
I was like literally known as like a hasty person. Like all my decisions, like, why not? Let's do it. Like, I just didn't think, I didn't have a filter, and it got me, and I made some terrible decisions, you know.
But so you think that having a why not mentality is bad, or you just had it with the wrong reasons?
Wrong reasons and no patience though. Why not? But you can't just say why not and disrespect the process of a thing. Process. And if you just say why not and you get involved in something without considering the cost of a thing, the sacrifice, the time, the endurance you're going to need to finish well or finish strong, like you are literally sabotaging yourself and setting yourself up for failure. And that's one of the biggest things that I've gained from powerlifting is like respecting the process. Like this is going to cost like you. Yeah. Like 1000%, all of me. Like, and you at first, like, I thought it was just a couple hours in the morning. Like, it's just going to cost me some sleep. Oh, it's just going to cost me a little bit of money to buy pre-workout and protein bars. Like, and then, but if you want to execute well, and if you want to like actually grow physically, mentally, like with anything, you have to endure the process, and process sucks sometimes.
I always say discipline
sucks. You know.
So you joined your first competition. You did your first strongman competition at a local gym about 2 weeks ago. Yes. What made you just sign up for it then?
Well, I originally wanted to sign up for a USPA powerlifting competition
that my team and I does.
Yeah. Actually, and I told you met one of my clients.
I actually want you to share that. So this was I don't think I've met you or spoken to you.
This was like
I think I've spoken to you once, maybe.
Yeah, it was like it was still winter time. It was like
okay. So you started following the me and my team on their
you
page.
and Team Powerlift or Team Limitless, excuse me. And I was like, you know what? I was super inspired, and I said, I'm going to sign up for this powerlifting competition, USPA official. I'm going to get the siglet. I can't even say it. Like, I'm going to get the lifted shoes and the belt, all the things. Dick's bought a freaking rinky dink weightlifting belt. And I was like, I'm doing this, buddy. And then like that work one day. And I work for a French skincare company. And so this woman comes in and just shooting the breeze. And then she's got like a bright spirit. She's an older woman. And
she's 78, right?
Yeah. Or at 78 or 75, either way, definitely retirement age. And so we're talking, and she tells me that she has climbed all these like peaks in New Hampshire, the presidential peaks. And I was like, that's so cool. Look at you. You're a badass. I just signed up. I'm going to sign up for this powerlifting competition. I was like saying it like prophetically because I hadn't even signed up yet. I was like, I just started training. I'm a powerlifter, man. Like, like, hey, do you think I could do that? And I was like, of course you can. Yeah. Like, I've seen people your age powerlift. Just sign up. Why not? Who cares? Just do it. Try it. And then it turned out her husband used to powerlift back in the day. He had just recently passed away. She, however, though, had no experience, just saw her husband doing it. So she said, I'm going to do it in my husband's honor, and I'm going to wear his powerlifting belt. A week later, she signs up, finds me on Facebook. I signed up for the competition. Did you do it yet? And then I was like, oh, I got to this thing now. I go to sign up and then me out. It's closed. Competition's closed. No more entry. Like,
and you didn't know that myself and my whole entire team had signed up for the same competition.
No idea. So honestly, I felt like an a-hole. Like, I felt like such a jerk because now I'm not even going to be at this competition.
So let me ask you, what stopped you from signing? What? Oh, so before I get to this question I'm about to ask, so to finish this, so me and her name is Linda. We were on the same session together.
Okay.
And it was also my first powerlifting team, even though I had been coaching my team. And I had just finished competing bodybuilding 2 weeks prior. So my weight was very up and down and I felt very weak. But I wasn't planning to bodybuild the 2 weeks prior. I wasn't planning to bodybuild at all. It just so happens I was following a set of instructions that says you're going to be in Atlanta and then 2 weeks later you're going to be here. But I knew I wasn't going to hit big numbers. I knew I wasn't all I wanted to do was make weight. My numbers sucked. Everything sucked because I wanted the experience more of what my team was was feeling emotionally.
The process,
than anything. So it was for them versus more for me. And so in that session that I weighed in, that I made in or whatever, that's when I met Linda, the one that Jaleesa was talking about. And so she was like, a little nervous, so just very polite. And I said, so we were actually lifting right back to each other. Like she lifted and then I was next. And I said, Linda, I promise you, man, everyone's going to recognize your face. What you should do is you should go out there and be like, bring it. She was like, you think That's I should? Awesome. I go, absolutely. You should do that. And then I go, oh, she totally, man, she got the crowd so hyped up. I go, listen, they're going to remember you versus what you lift. They're going to remember your energy. So I go, you should do something different every time. Just be like, and she was like, okay. And she went out there and she was just like, that lady, man. Every time she turned around her corner everyone was like, yeah, like it was a great thing to experience and witness, and just for you to tell me that you're the one that encouraged her to sign up because Team Limitless is the one that encouraged you. I was
ripples,
like, holy smokes. Like, so it was incredible. I actually enjoyed hearing that story. So now the question is, why didn't you sign up right away? Go ahead, tell the truth. Tell the truth.
I will tell you the truth. I didn't it's not that I didn't believe in myself. It's that I wanted to prove to myself that I was ready. Like, I didn't believe in myself in the moment. It's like, oh, I believe I'll get there. But
okay.
I don't know. Oh, I'm nervous. I don't know what I'm doing. I just like picking up heavy stuff. It feels good.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. And I think this was around the time your trainer had ghosted you.
Exactly. So, yeah.
And that's hard. That's hard to, I mean, even that you found the courage to still keep going, that says a lot about your strength. And so that's nothing to ever, minimize or question, because that's a terrible experience because when you're already questioning, should you do this? And the person that you hire and you reach out to doesn't really, it's too busy for you. It's a terrible feeling. One of the things that I like, my team in the beginning would be like, man, this is all because of you. Thank you for you. But I was like, no. If you guys don't show up, there's no me.
Yeah.
So I never take credit for anybody's work. I had someone do that to me, and it's the worst feeling in the world. And so I do not even dare touch the work that they do, the credit that they do. Yeah, I open the doors. 1,000. Yeah, I talk to them. But if they don't show up, there's no me. So it doesn't matter like how much I do or how much I pour. So and I always ask them, like, what do you want? And some know what they want, and many people don't know what they want. So with the ones that they don't know what they want, I always let them know, like, if you don't know what you want, I don't know what you want. And so a lot of times people put these coaches in position to figure it out for us. I'm gonna pull what I think it is, but you still have to follow instructions.
1,000%.
So I can't bring out the best of you if you don't want the best for you. And that's why I will never take credit, because you have to show up. So, and 1,000%. So during that time, you're probably like, man, it was hard. I'm pretty sure it was hard. So I'm glad that you reached out to me while you were in the ER crying, wanted me to feed your ego. And I was like, nah.
Thank you for not doing that.
Have you not read enough of my post?
Well, you know what it is when you're not that I was desperate, but I just like, there's no one else.
No, you can use that word. It's okay.
It's just that like no one else like understands the process of like wanting this particular thing that bad. And I know like who else to like talk to, And I actually fought with myself about reaching out to you, because I love being the strong friend. I love being the rock for everybody, And I don't always.
So tell me what you learned about being always the rock.
That ain't my job.
Who's the actual rock? Hey, Zeus.
Yes, 1,000%.
I learned that. I was like, oh, I'm not Jesus. My bad.
Wait a minute. Not my. I'm really bad at this. Actually, I can have the rock back.
You can have the rock back.
I don't want it.
Yeah, this is cast your burdens. I don't know what I was thinking carrying them.
No, like, but it was like, it's to unlearn it because there were times
yes
in younger years of like when I first became a Christian that like I would like be sad for God. Like like I would like literally like be like, Lord, like it must really stink that nobody appreciates you. Like and just be weeping. I'm just nuts. I'm just
no, that's a like, you're probably like, do you need my help?
Yeah, yes. Oh my God, I can see that these people don't want to follow you. So I'll just figure it out. Okay. Like, he's like, can you just step aside, please? Pretty sure I got this. The planet and the earth and the moon and the stars together. I can handle humanity. Take a seat.
It's funny because like when someone like I had such a bad heroic mentality when someone was like in really need, I'm like, I'm not even gonna pray about it because I have the answer. So like, because I know what you're gonna tell me to do, so I'm not even gonna pray about it. I got
it. Oh my gosh.
So with the last 5 minutes remaining,
yes.
What is it that you want to say to people that are like that are saying like there's no way I will ever step foot in a gym, first of all. I'm shy, I'm quiet, and I don't even know where to begin.
Well, actually, I just posted today about feeling insecure in the gym because it still comes up, you know. I just wanted to record my set, but I got frozen with like, oh, they're looking at me and who am I to record a set in the gym? Like a year ago, I was still drinking and smoking. Like it's just, you just got to start. You just, even if it's a 10-minute walk on a treadmill, that's a 10-minute walk on a treadmill that you do one day that you didn't do the day before. And you don't need all these like extra accessories or all these extra people. Like you already know what to do. That's the thing. Like we act like we don't know. We're functioning in a society that's on a spinning rock in space. I'm pretty sure like with Google and all the things, like you know what to do. It's just you got to own up to it and you got to take responsibility for the kind of life you want to have, because if you don't take responsibility, no one else can do it for you. No one's going to get it for you. Like, and again, even if it's just like 10-minute walk on the treadmill, that's a 10-minute walk you didn't take the day before. And you have to respect the process and build on it and not just expect like overnight results, because it took a long time to put on this weight, you know? So, and it also took a long time to like think differently in order to be able to get myself to the gym. So, and it's an ongoing process. So if you don't feel like, you know, committing long-term to yourself and to your life, if you don't think it's worth it, then don't start, because it's only going to hurt you even more and put you in a deeper, darker hole than you are right now.
There's one thing I tell myself, that I was heavy and overweight for 6 years, and I'm transformed for 2.5 years. And though I love where I'm at, as I get more into bodybuilding, I still need more time. So I'm not impatient with myself, because I remind myself I had not outlived my past yet. And so until I outlive my past, I don't have the audacity to complain.
That's excellent.
So I'm very patient with myself. And the reason why I lost weight naturally is because I had no patience. So I use it as a process to teach myself patience. And it's the best thing I've ever did for myself.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you for joining the Yes You're Needed podcast, because it was your yes that definitely got you a transformed mind, leading to a better life and decisions and habits. And for being part of the Why Not series, because you randomly joined a strongman competition, and because you were like, sure, why not? And this time you weren't afraid, and you did extremely well, that you're actually back in training for another one that you're looking for.
Yeah, coming up at the end of August, Revolution powerlifting.
There you go. See, like, why not? So, thank you for joining,
Thanks for
and
having me.
thank you all for listening and watching.
Yes.